I like a lot of the boutique labels. This is where I get real rewards out of. I find movies that I've never seen before, that I've maybe heard before but never pulled the trigger on actually watching. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the Blu-rays because I feel as if as a package they're a little bit more substantial than general just bare bones movies. So one of the first ones I want to talk about is Hell Comes to Frogtown. Now that title alone sort of demands that you sit up and pay attention. Not necessarily watch it, but for some reason this was one that I watched very recently and I loved the hell out of it. So let's have a look at the movie itself. Hell Comes to Frogtown is based around this character Sam Hell. Now in this future, it's been after World War III or IV, I can't remember exactly, and pretty much majority of populations have been wiped out. There is mutants going about as well because of all the nuclear warheads that have been dropped, and it's turned out that most of the men in the world are barren. They're firing blanks, apart from Sam Hell, who, as they say several times in the movie, is carrying a loaded weapon. So the government want to take him so that he can basically have as many babies as he can to help repopulate the earth. And as he's trying to get fertile women, because that's a thing as well that they have to get, they get lost in Frogtown with these giant amphibian frog things who are basically just want to kill them all. It feels a little bit like a Mad Max effort, and although the budget is probably similar to that, it looks much shoddier. It's very 80s. It's very 80s in just about everything it does, from the clothes, from the stars, to the production values, to that kind of gung-ho effort that you very rarely see anymore. Rowdy Piper stars as Sam Hell in this, and the guy is extremely charismatic. He did a 1-2 punch with this and They Live, and in both the movies he's a terrific character, and that's one thing I latched on to. If it was somebody else in this, it might not have been as much fun as it was. I really liked Hell Comes to Frogtown. I thought the fact that they have these sort of big frog heads on people, that animatronics for the budget that they had looked pretty good and terrific, and the fact that they've went practical makes a huge effort and a huge difference on my behalf. It's much better than any CGI nonsense. The fact that they've tried, and even though it may not look realistic, you appreciate the effort that they've gone to by doing this. The movie's storyline is kind of trite and stuff that we've seen before, and there's nothing spectacular that way, but it does have some good action beats, it has some good one-liners, it has some really fun dance sequence later on, the dance of the 3 serpents or something like that, which is pretty funny itself. And I had a lot of fun with Hell Comes to Frogtown. It's not a movie to be taken seriously. It's not an Oscar contender, let's put it that way. But it is genuinely a lot of fun. Now, as I was saying, these movies have a lot of extras with them as well, generally. So let's have a look at some of the extras that come along with Hell Comes to Frogtown. There is 3 interviews in this disc, and they all last about 20 minutes each. The first one we get is with Piper himself, who even when he's doing the interview comes along as a very charismatic person who's obviously lived a very entertaining life, and just listening to him talk is effortless. We could listen to that for hours. He's got stories to tell that are entertaining, and his experience on Hell Comes to Frogtown is a unique one, and it's fun to hear about it. We have another one with Brian Frank, who played the sort of head of the frog people, the guy that's after Piper's character, Sam Hell, and it's nice to get his description of what happened and how he was there working in these temperatures, in this suit that kind of covered him, and his experience of his movie. And he seems to be really energetic and having fun talking about this as well. It's another good, interesting piece and a good interview, and it moves by fairly quickly and it's quite entertaining. The last interview is with Steve Wang, the guy who created the sort of frog outfits, and to hear the limitations that were put on him and the fact that he made pretty much nothing out of it but had so much fun making these frog suits, it's just really fascinating to watch. He's obviously got a passion for his craft. The effort that he put in was terrific. The look of those frogs are terrific, absolutely outstanding, and to see him talking about it and how he was kind of marginalised and almost pushed off the movie is shocking, but he did seem to be really proud of his work, and that's interesting enough. So you have these 3 main interviews, and although they're interesting, I may never go back to them again. I think I would go back and watch the Piper one because I found that just really fun. The guy's just likeable and can tell a tale. There's an extended scene within the disc as well, and it's not really add much to the movie itself. And then there's the theatrical trailer. I kind of like the theatrical trailers because it's always nice to see, 1, how they're marketing this movie, 2, how much of the good bits did they put in the movie? And 3, just who was this aimed at? It's fun to tell with this kind of thing, and it's good to see the difference between the sort of trailer and the actual movie itself. It only takes a minute to watch, and it's just a fun little extra. Here we have the newly commissioned cover art that just looks fantastic. It looks very 80s. It's got all that cool detail on it, and it just basically tells you everything you need to know about Hell Comes to Frogtown. And this is the reversible art on the disc itself, and this is the original poster. It's pretty good, but you know what, I prefer a little bit more detailed, the actual hand-drawn one that's just tells me everything I want to know, although it's nice to have this on the disc as well. And here's a list of extras that's on the back as well. As you can see, lots of detail in there, lots of special extras as well, including audio, high definition transfer, original stereo 2.0 audio, the interviews that I was talking about, and that awesome artwork that's on this disc. Overall, great package. And there we have it. Hell Comes to Frogtown, released from Arrow Video. The movie is very 80s centric if you're into that kind of thing. If you're into the kind of sort of well-lit, post-apocalyptic, not too expensive, low budget kind of movie, this is probably for you. There are some extras that are pretty good, like the Rowdy Piper interview, but other than that they're kind of negligible, and it's more just the movie that's on this one. The other ones are nice, but not essentials. Still, it's good to get a good restoration of the movie itself and a good picture quality, and I do quite like this one. Have you seen Hell Comes to Frogtown? Is it something you would be interested in picking up? Let me know in the comment box below, as well as letting me know whether this kind of video interests you. Then finding out a little bit more about a Blu-ray, a little bit more about its content and whether I liked it or not, and whether it's something you may pick up in the future dates. I really want to know. If you like this video, hit subscribe. If you like it, press the like button. Let me know this is the kind of content that you want to see more of. And I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.